Calculate the distance between 111 planes in a crystal of Ca. The answer is, now we have d is equal to a upon root of h square plus k square plus l square. Now by putting all the values, we have 0. A is equal to 0.556, and above h, k and l are 1, 1 and 1. So 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square. So by calculating this, we get the value as 0.321 nanometers. So the correct answer is, in Bragg's equation for diffraction of X-ray, n represents, here are the options. Now Bragg's equation is given by n lambda is equal to 2d sine theta, where n is an equation, is an integer. Therefore, the correct answer is option B, an integer. Which solid will have the weakest intermolecular forces? Now, ice has the lowest melting point. Therefore, it has the weakest intermolecular force. Therefore, the correct answer is option A, ice. Electrical resistance of mercury becomes almost zero at. Now, most of the metals have their transition temperature in the range 2 to 5K. Now, the transition temperature is the temperature at which a substance starts to behave as a superconductor. So, the correct option is option D. The picnometric density of sodium chloride crystal is 2.165 into 10 raised to 3 kg meter raised to minus 3, while its X-rays density is 2.178 into 10 raised to 3 kg meter raised to minus 3. The fraction of unoccupied sites in sodium chloride crystal is this. These are the options. Now first we calculate the difference between the picnometric density and the X-ray density, which turns out to be 0.013 into 10 raised to 3. Now the unoccupied spaces is given by difference upon the X-ray density, which is equal to 0.013 upon 2.178 into 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to 3, which gives the answer 5.96 into 10 raised to minus 3, which is, so the correct answer is option A. Number of unit cells in 4 grams of an element X which crystallizes in BCC pattern is, here are the options. Now the element X has an atomic mass of 40 and the Na in the options refers to as the Avogadro's number. Now 40 grams is equal to Na atoms. Therefore 4 grams will be equal to 0.1 into Na atoms. Now 2 atoms form 1 unit cell in a BCC structure. Therefore 0.1 into Na atoms will form 0.1 into Na upon 2 unit cells. Therefore the correct answer is option C, 0.1 into Na upon 2. Lithium forms body-centered cubic structure. The length of the side of its unit cell is 351 picometer. Atomic radius of the lithium will be, here are the options. Now, as lithium forms BCC, for BCC the formula is root 3A is equal to 4 into R. Here we have to find R. Therefore, R will be equal to root 3 upon 4 into A. We have A. The A is given as 351 picometers. So, substituting the value of A, we get, on calculating, we get the answer as 152 picometers. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Potassium fluoride has NaCl type structure. What is the distance between the K plus and the F minus ions if cell edge is a centimeter? Here are the options. Now, the distance between K plus and F minus ions is given by half into the length of the edge. Here, edge is given as a centimeter, which is equal to half into a centimeter, which is equal to a by 2 centimeter. So, the correct option is option B, a by 2 centimeter. The number of octahedral voids in a unit cell of a cubic closed packed structure is, here are the options. Now, number of atoms in cubic closed packed structure is equal to 8. Therefore, the number of octahedral voids will be equal to half into 8, which is equal to 4. Therefore, the correct option is option C, 4. If the pressure on an NaCl structure is increased, then its coordination number will, here are the options. Now, NaCl structure has a 6 by 6 coordination number. Now, under high pressure, it undergoes changes and it transforms into CsCl structure, which has a coordination number of 8:8. Therefore, its coordination number increases. Therefore, the correct answer is option A, increases. In which compound 8:8 coordination number is found? Now, each Cs plus is surrounded by 8 chloride ions in CsCl structure because its coordination number, because it has 8:8 coordination number. Therefore, the correct answer is option A, CsCl. The coordination number of Na in sodium chloride is, these are the options. Now, in sodium chloride structure, each Na ions is surrounded by 6 chlorine ions, and each chlorine ions is surrounded by 6 sodium ions. Thus, both the coordination number of sodium and chlorine ions are 6. Hence, the correct answer is option A. What is the coordination number of sodium in sodium oxide? There are the options. Now, in Na2O, each oxide ions is surrounded by 8 Na ions, and each Na ions is surrounded by 4 oxide ions. Hence the coordination number is 4:8. Hence the coordination number of Na will be 4. Therefore, the correct option is option B. Due to Frenkel defect, the density of ionic solids, the options are A, increases, B, decreases, C, does not change, and D, changes. Now, in Frenkel defect, since no ions are missing from the crystal as a whole, it does not has an effect on density. Hence, the correct option is does not change, C. The flame colors of metal ions are due to, here are the options. Now, in metal, excess defect when holes created by missing of anions are occupied by electrons are called as F centers, and these are responsible for the color of the flame. Therefore, the correct answer is option D, metal excess defect. A solid is made of two elements X and Z. The atoms Z are in CCP arrangement while the atoms X occupy all the tetrahedral sites. What is the formula of the compound? Here are the options. Now, the tetrahedral sites occupy one double compared to the octahedral sites, then the ratio of x and z is 2 is to 1. Hence, the formula will be x2z. Hence, the correct option is option C, x2z. Now, in a rock salt structure, the number of formula units per unit cell is equal to, here are the options. Now, in NaCl, sodium ions, number of sodium ions is equal to 12, which is at edge centers, into 1 by 4 plus 1, which is at a body center. So calculating, we get the answer as 4. Number of chloride ions in NaCl will be 8 at the corners into 1 by 8 plus 6 at the face centers into half, which will be calculating, we get the answer as 4. So both the number of chloride and sodium ions are 4. Therefore the correct answer is option D, 4. If NaCl is doped with 10 raised to minus 3 molecular percentage of SrCl2, then the concentration of cation vacancies will be as follows. Now, as Sr2 plus ion introduces one cation vacancy, therefore the concentration of the cation vacancy will be equal to the molecular percentage of SrCl2 added. So here the answer will be 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 molecular percentage, which is option A. In A plus B minus ionic compound, radii of A plus and B minus ions are 180 picometer and 187 picometer respectively. The crystal structure of this compound will be, here are the options. Now first we'll take the radius ratio of the both the radii, which will be equal to 180 upon 187, which gives the answer to 0.962, which lies in the range between 0.732 and 1.000. Hence the coordination number here will be equal to 8, which is equal to CSCl type. Hence the correct answer is option B, CSCl type. This oxide has a cubic structure and each edge of the unit cell is 5 angstrom. Assuming density of the oxide as 4 grams centimeter raised to minus 3, then the number of Fe2 plus and O2 minus ions present in each unit cell is, here are the options. Now we assume units of ferrous oxide in the unit cell is equal to N. The molecular weight of a ferrous oxide is 72. Now the weight of n unit cells will be 72 into n upon Avogadro's number, so 6.023 into 10 raised to 23. Now the volume of one unit will be equal to length of the cube corners, the whole cube, which is equal to 5 Armstrong the whole cube, which is equal to 125 into 10 raised to minus 24 centimeter cube. Now the density is equal to weight of cell upon volume. Now substituting the values of density from as 4, the weight of cell from here, and the volume as 125 into 10 raised to minus 24, we get 4 is equal to 72 into n upon 6.023 into 125 into 10 raised to minus 1. Now we have to find the value of n. Therefore n will be equal to, calculating all this, we get the value of 42.7 into 10 raised to minus 1, which is equal to 4.27, which will be approximately equal to 4 as we round it off. Hence the correct answer is option A, 4 Fe2 plus and 4 O2 minus ions. Radius ratio of an ionic compound is 0.93. The structure of the above ionic compound is, here are the options. Now the radius ratio is 0.93, which lies in the range between 0.732 and 0.99, which signifies the coordination number as 8. Now CSCl has the coordination number is equal to 8 is to 8. Therefore the correct answer is option B, CSCl type. A substance has density of 2 kg. Shit. A substance has density of 2 kg per decimeter cube and it crystallizes in FCC lattice with edge length equal to 700 picometer. Then the molar mass of the substance is. Now, the formula for density is equal to Z into M upon Na into A cube. Here, the edge length is given to 700 picometer, which if we convert into centimeter will be 7 into 10 raised to minus 8 centimeter. So we have to find the molar mass. So M will be equal to D into Na into A cube upon Z. While substituting the values of D, Na, A cube and Z, we get the answer as 103.3 grams per mole, which is option B. So the correct answer is option B. An ionic compound AXBY occurs in FCC type crystal structure with B ion at the center of each face and A ion occupying corners of the cube. The formula AXBY will be, here are the options. Now, since A atoms occupy the corners of the cube, the number of A atoms will be 1 by 8 into 8, which is equal to 1. Now, since B atoms occupy the center of each face, the number of B atoms will be 6 into 1 by 2, which is equal to 3. Therefore, the formula for AXBY will be AB3. Therefore, the correct option is option A. An element occurring in BCC structure has 12.08 into 10 raised to 23 unit cells. The total number of atoms of the element in these cell will be, here are the options. Now, in BCC, one unit cell is equal to 2 atoms. Therefore, 12.08 into 10 raised to 23 unit cell will be equal to 24.16 into 10 raised to 23 atoms. So the correct answer is option A. The unit cell edge length of sodium chloride crystal is 600 picometer, then its density will be, here are the options. Now the formula for density is equal to D is equal to Z into M upon Na into A cube. Here edge length A is given as 600 picometer, which we have to first convert into centimeter, which in centimeter will be 6 into 10 raised to minus 8 centimeter. So by substituting all the values, we'll get D is equal to 4 into 58.5 upon 6.024 into 10 raised to 23 into 216 into 10 raised to minus 24, which on calculation gives the value as 1.79 grams per centimeter cube. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. A solid compound XY has NaCl structure. If the radius of the cation is 100 picometers, the radius of the anion Y will be, here are the options. Now, in NaCl, the chloride ions form CCP and the Na ions form octahedral voids. So, the ratio of R plus upon R minus will be equal to 0.414. Here we have to find a value of R minus since the value of R plus is given as 100 picometers. Therefore, R minus is equal to 100 upon 0.414, which is equal to 241.5 picometers. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. When molten zinc is cooled to solid state, it assumes HCP structure. The number of nearest neighbor of zinc atom will be, here are the options. Now we have to first find the density. So the formula for density is D is equal to Z into M upon Na into A cube. Here A is equal to 100 picometers. So you have to convert it in centimeter, which would be 10 to minus 8 centimeter. So here you have to find the molecular mass. So the molecular mass will be equal to 1.506 grams per mole. Now the number of atoms will be equal to the Avogadro's number into 100 upon the molecular mass, which turns out to be 4 into 10 raised to 23. So the correct answer is option A, 4. The edge length of FCC lattice is 508 picometer. If the radius of the cation is 110 picometer, the radius of the anion is, in FCC lattice, RC plus RA is equal to A by 2, where RC is the radius of the cation, RA is the radius of the anion, and A is the edge length. So, RC plus RA is equal to 508 by 2, which is equal to 254. We know the radius of the cation as 110 picometer. So, radius of the anion will be equal to 254 minus 110, which will be equal to 144 picometers. So the correct answer is option A, 144 picometers. How many unit cells are present in a cube-shaped ideal crystal of NaCl of mass 1 gram? Here the atomic masses of Na is 23 and chlorine is 35.5. Here are the options. Now, number of NaCl molecule in a unit cell is equal to 4. Therefore, the mass of the unit cell will be equal to 4 into m upon n. By substituting the values, we get the answer as 38.85 into 10 raised to minus 23 grams. Now, to find the number of unit cells, we have to take which is equal to 1 upon 38.85 into 10 raised to minus 23, which will be equal to 2.57 into 10 raised to 21 unit cells. So the correct answer is option A.